Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So the next increase, which is expected to take place for all beneficiaries of Social Security, is probably going to be the largest one that we see for quite some time. We'll be going over why. Plus, one Democrat just issued a huge warning in regards to Social Security as well. We'll be going over what they're saying. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our first story of today's video, where a Democrat issued a huge warning in regards to Social Security. We're going to be going over what they're saying in this article issued by Newsweek, where they say that Social Security warning issued by Democrats. So a Democratic congressman is warning of a potential blow to Social Security that he believes would be inflicted if Donald Trump wins re-election in November. Social Security remains a hotly debated issue for both Republicans and Democrats as the program could face a funding crisis. Estimates show that the Social Security Administration will run out of funding by 2035, at which point seniors, depending on the retirement benefits, would see a monthly cut of 17%. And the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank, released a report this week in support of raising the Social Security retirement age as a way to prevent the program's potential insolvency. So basically, by doing that, they would make it so certain people would have to wait from the age of, like, let's say 67 up to 69 or 70, and because there was going to be that delay in having to receive benefits, then there's going to be less money leaving the trust fund, which is going to, of course, keep the trust fund solvent for a longer period of time. They would have to do things other than raising the full retirement age, at least at this point in time, because we just don't have enough young people working and paying into the system to pay out people who are currently collecting in the system. So a lot of people, they might have this misconception of Social Security, like if, let's say, I'm working now, I'm paying money into the trust fund. Well, the money that I'm paying into the trust fund is not going to this huge pot that I get to collect later. The money that I'm paying into the trust fund now is money that people who are currently receiving Social Security benefits is going to people who are currently receiving benefits. The money that I'm paying now isn't going to, like, my own personal stash that gets saved up and then pays out to me over time. For me, I'm going to be completely reliant on enough young people working and paying into the system to hopefully get some of the benefits back whenever I'm ready to start collecting Social Security benefits. So basically, that's the problem right now, is that we don't have enough young people, and we're not going to have enough young people in the future to pay into the trust fund for people who are then collecting benefits to get 100% of what they're supposed to receive. Now, the article goes on to say that specifically, the think tank is in support of gradually increasing the retirement age from 67 to either 69 or 70. While this would mean most Americans would likely work longer, it could account for the higher life expectancy Americans have while still preserving Social Security benefits for future generations, proponents say. Still, many are against the measure, as it could create quality of life issues for seniors while working to ensure their Social Security benefits are still available to them at a certain point. And we had, of course, one Democratic congressman take to X, formerly known as Twitter. He said, "There you have it. If Donald Trump is president, say goodbye to your Social Security and plan to work into your 70s. This is their plan." That's what Eric Swalwell said, who is a California representative in Congress. And then, of course, we have the current president, Joe Biden, saying that as long as I am president, I will keep strengthening Social Security and Medicare and protecting them from Republicans' attempts to cut benefits from Americans that Americans have earned. And during his remarks, the president indicated that Republicans are interested in raising the retirement age and providing preferential treatment to the wealthy, when it comes to Social Security benefits. It said that Republicans in Congress have a very different vision. Their budget sides with the wealthy and special interests to cut Social Security by over $1.5 trillion, increasing the retirement age, raising prescription drug costs, and transition Medicare to a system that would raise premiums for many seniors. So basically, the Democrats' main idea to fix the solvency issue is they want to raise taxes on those Americans who earn above, let's say, $250,000 or $400,000 per year. So basically, whenever you're paying the FICA tax out of your paycheck, out of each paycheck, in addition to the federal and state income taxes, you're going to pay the FICA taxes as well. So it's going to be like the Social Security plus Medicare. Social Security is going to be 6.2%. Your employer is going to match the other 6.2%, so that combines to 12.4%. If you work for yourself, then you pay the entire 12.4%, and then you pay like another 1.5% that goes into Medicare. What Democrats want to do, because right now there is a cap on what the amount that you have to pay for the Social Security, that cap is right around $167,000 per year. So you only pay the 6.2 to 12.4% on the first $167,000 or so dollars that you earn. Anything above that, you are no longer having to pay that amount, that tax, into the trust fund. So someone who makes $20 million is going to pay the exact same amount into the trust fund, pay the exact same amount of taxes, the 6.2 to 12.4% portion, into the tax fund as someone who earns $167,000. Democrats are not okay with that. Republicans don't think that people should have to pay more taxes, so that's sort of the hang up with that idea. Now, moving into our other story of today's video, as I mentioned, Social Security beneficiaries may actually end up receiving the largest increase that they're going to receive for quite some time. That's because inflation is slowing. So according to the Motley Fool, the 2025 Social Security COLA could be the largest that we see for a long time. Here's why that's bad news for seniors. So we won't learn the official 2025 Social Security cost of living adjustment until October, but the latest estimates put it somewhere around 2.57%. This is less than the 3.2% boost beneficiaries got this year, and well under the 8.7% increase we saw back in 2023. A 2.57% increase would add about $49 to the $1,917 average Social Security check as of May 2024. It's not a lot, but it might be the biggest increase seniors can expect for years to come. Below, we'll look at why and what you can do to help stretch your checks as far as possible. So they say that smaller COLAs might be on the horizon. Social Security COLAs are based on changes to the average third quarter data from the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. The CPIW measures the cost of a bundle of common goods and services. Its values move up slowly over time due to inflation, though in some years it rises more quickly than in others. 2022 saw rampant inflation, so the difference between the 2022 and 2021 CPIW third quarter data was quite high at 8.7%. That's why seniors saw such a large Social Security COLA that year. Inflation slowed throughout 2023, which is how we ended up with a smaller but still above average COLA of 3.2% for 2024. Inflation may not be slowing as quickly as everyone hoped, but it has come down throughout 2024. That's why the 2025 COLA is expected to be even lower than this year's. And of course, the Congressional Budget Office expects this trend to continue. Its baseline projections through 2034 estimate that COLAs during this period will fall between 2.2 and 2.5%. Obviously, this could change if inflation picks back up, but if the current projections hold true, seniors shouldn't expect any large increases in their Social Security checks in the coming years. And of course, this is impossible to predict. We could definitely have another round of high inflation, 8, 9, 10% possibly, especially if we go into like a recession or something like that, where we might have slower inflation for a period of time, but then we could issue another round of stimulus checks or different stimulus programs to pick up the economy. And in response to that, we could actually have, higher than usual inflation, and we could once again experience like this inflation of 6, 7, 8, 9, or even 10%. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.